Hi guys, once again, you all are very welcome to the chemistry path. So in this session, we'll discuss about the diastereomerism. In the last session, we'll discuss about the enantiomerism. So in this session, diastereomerism. So what are the compounds? What type of compounds are diastereomers? So generally guys, diastereomers should contains at least two chiral centers. At least two chiral centers. Then only diastereomerism is possible. In enantiomerism, compound should contains at least one chiral center. But in diastereomerism, the compound should contains at least two chiral center. Then only diastereomers and diastereomerism, the phenomena is possible. So generally, diastereomers which are not mirror images to each other. Look at my hand, look at my left hand, look at my right hand, look at this one. The thumb finger, when placed in the mirror, maybe image like this. So maybe thumb finger, maybe image like the little finger. So these two are not mirror images. Exactly the same point. Diastereomers which are not mirror images to each other, at the same time both are non-superimposable to each other. Look at this one. Both are non-superimposable to each other. The two compounds which are non-mirror images, at the same time non-superimposable to each other, those compounds are diastereomers, and the phenomena which is nothing but diastereomerism. Okay, explained with example guys, explained with example. Before going that, what are the properties for the diastereomers? So point number one, for the diastereomerism, the compound should contains at least two chiral centers, then only the diastereomerism is possible. Point number one. Point number two, the two isomers which are non-mirror images to each other. Point number two, which are non-mirror images to each other. Non-mirror images to each other. And point number three, both the isomers which are non-superimposable to each other. Point number three, both are non-superimposable. Okay guys, non-superimposable to each other. Point number three. And most importantly, so the separation of the enantiomers, which is nothing but a little bit difficult, but the separation of the diastereomers, which is very simple. Why? Because the physical properties are completely different for the diastereomers. When you take the two isomers, they may be the diastereomers. The properties, the physical properties of the diastereomers completely different, and more importantly, chemical properties may also different in some times. So the fourth point is nothing but the physical properties of the diastereomers, they may be the different. So what are the physical properties? Melting point, boiling point, so density. So like these physical properties, the physical properties are different. That's why you can easily separate the diastereomers by using the physical properties. And next one, more importantly, some techniques are very important. Fractional crystallization method, fractional distillation method, and chromatography technique. So these are the very useful techniques to separate the diastereomers. So what type of techniques? Fractional crystallization technique, fractional distillation process, and more importantly, so chromatography technique. So these techniques are used for to separate the diastereomers. These are very important point. So note all these points. Diastereomers should contains at least two chiral centers. Point number one. Point number two, they are non-mirror images to each other, at the same time non-superimposable to each other. Point number four, physical properties are different. Melting point, boiling point, density. So all these type of physical properties are different. So diastereomers can separated by the fractional crystallization process, fractional distillation process and chromatography techniques. So these are the very important points. So in case of diastereomers, okay, in your competitive exams, so you may just give the two compounds whether they are the diastereomers or not. Okay, for that you should find the RS nomenclature. RS nomenclature. Okay guys, explained with some examples, competitive exam examples. Example number one. Example number one. Look at this example. Look at this example, guys. OH, NH2, iodine, and example number 2, compound number 2, OH, iodine, NH2. Okay, maybe just imagine this question may be given in your competitive exams. He may ask like this: what is the relation between the following compounds, first one and second compound? Option number 1 enantiomers, option number 2 diastereomers, option number 3 meso, option number 4 identical. So tell me, what is your answer? I know that they may be the enantiomers. No, they may be the diastereomers. No, they may be the meso. Okay guys, we'll just find with the RS nomenclature. RS nomenclature is our guide. Which is the dash wedge formula? RS nomenclature is dash wedge formula is already discussed in our past video lecture number maybe 5 or 6. Okay, look at this one. Look at this one. Maybe this one may be the solid wedge. The hydrogen should be with the broken wedge. Look at this one. Here these two are solid lines. Maybe hydrogen may be with the solid wedge. These two are solid lines. NH2 is already present with the solid wedge. Maybe hydrogen must be present on this carbon with the broken wedge. First you should write like this. Next, the same compound. Broken wedge, OH is present with the broken wedge. Two solid lines are present. Two solid lines are present. Maybe hydrogen must be present with the solid wedge. Next one, iodine with the broken wedge. Two solid lines are already present. That means the remaining hydrogen present on this carbon, that should be with the solid wedge. Next, again same thing. Two solid lines and one solid wedge is present. The hydrogen must be present on this carbon with a broken wedge. Okay. Then you can find the RS nomenclature. Then you can find the RS configuration. RS configuration. Okay guys. Okay. Look at this one. Oxygen first priority. Maybe second priority goes to the right hand side chiral carbon. Second priority, third priority, and hydrogen fourth priority. More importantly, hydrogen in this condition present with a broken wedge. The remaining groups are rotates like in clockwise. The least priority group present on the broken wedge, remaining groups are clockwise. The configuration should be the R. Okay. Next one. Look at this compound. The middle compound. The middle carbon. So iodine should be the first priority. Right hand side carbon may be bonded with the nitrogen, carbon and hydrogen. Left side carbon may be bonded with oxygen, carbon and hydrogen. Compared with the nitrogen, hydrogen is a more prior group. So maybe second priority, maybe third priority. Again rotates in clockwise direction. But least priority group present with the solid wedge, it should be the S configuration. So first one may be the R configuration, second one should be the S configuration. Okay guys. Next, look at this one. Maybe first priority nitrogen, left hand side carbon second priority, third priority. Again 1, 2, 3 anti-clockwise direction broken wedge, which may be the S configuration. So first compound configuration R, S, S. Go for the second compound. Find the RS nomenclature in the second compound. Okay, look at this one. Look at this one. First priority oxygen, and second priority goes to the right side carbon. Third priority goes to the this one. 1, 2, 3 clockwise direction, clockwise direction. But this one may be the solid weight. So this should be the S configuration. S configuration. Next, middle carbon, the same configuration, I think, the same compound like first one and second one. So maybe the second one may be also S configuration, and third one is also maybe the same. That should be also S configuration. Yes, yes, yes. Look at this one. The R image may be the S, but the remaining two are same. Remaining two are same. Remember guys, in physical properties already I told you, dash stereomers should contains at least 2 chiral centers. At least 2 chiral centers. So these are maybe the dash stereomers. Compounds like this, if compounds may be like this, they may be the dash stereomers. For example, the first compound configuration may be the RR, second compound configuration may be the RS. These two are dash stereomers. If the first compound configuration may be the SS, second compound configuration is the RS, these two are also dash stereomers. If the first compound configuration may be the SS, second compound should be the RS or SR, these are also dash stereomers. In this condition, the first compound configuration is RSS, but second compound configuration is SSS. So these are also dash stereomers. If the first compound configuration is RS, second compound configuration is SR, these two are enantiomers. The mirror image of R is nothing but S, the image of S is nothing but R. These two are enantiomers. If the compound configuration is like this, RR, RS, SS, RS, SS, RS, or SR, or RSS, or SSS, there is no relation, there is no mirror image. Those type of compounds are diastereomers. But remember one thing guys, all the atoms present on the first compound and second compounds again must be the same. First you should check whether the compound atoms or molecules are same in first compound or second compound. Then only you can go for the second step, RS configuration. And the next important, so most familiar example in diastereomerism. Most familiar example in diastereomerism. I'll just write one example. Okay, tell me whether these two compounds are diastereomers or enantiomers. Simple one guys, no need to write the RS configuration. So simply yes, these two are enantiomers. No, these two are diastereomers. Yes, these two are diastereomers. 100% these two are diastereomers. Look at this one. Don't need to write the RS configuration. The first compound may be the cis configuration. The two groups, the two functional groups are, so with the broken wedge, or more importantly hydrogen with the solid wedge. So cis one. Second one may be the trans. Geometrical isomers are diastereomers. Geometrical isomers are, most important one guys. Geometrical isomers. So they are the diastereomers, most important. So first one may be the cis one, second one may be the trans. So these two are 100% diastereomers. So geometrical isomers, cis trans isomers are diastereomers. Cis trans isomers are diastereomers. Okay guys, I think you should enjoy this video, diastereomerism. Please share to your friends, family, and well-wishers. Thank you guys. In the next session, okay, we'll discuss with another interesting topic. Okay guys.